My group will be talking about statistics and how it affected everybody, from history from when it was founded to how it affected eras before ours and how it is used today. Some members will be talking about who uses statistics and why we need to study statistics. Enjoy the video.
Statistics' mathematical foundations were believed to be in the 17th century. The development of the probability theory by Blaise Pascal and Pierre de Fermat was its basis.
From the Department of Mathematics.com. It was said of Florence Nightingale that the study of statistics was set for her a religious duty. She realized that to create and run an organization efficiency, data on its operation must be collected and made use of when making decisions. Today, this view is universally agreed, although a modern-day approach to decision-making is much more sophisticated. In fact, statistics is based on mathematics, not only because the data used are usually numerical, but because of the fundamental concepts of probability theory are closely linked to pure mathematics. Therefore, there is a great need for graduates with a good understanding of mathematics who can use statistical methods correctly. This course, this being statistics, aims to produce such graduates.
MathZone.com says that the word statistics has been derived from the Latin word status, or the Italian word statista. These words mean a political state or government. Greek philosophers such as Plato were one of those who contributed to the study of statistics. Way back before, statistics was used by kings and rulers in order to gather information about lands, agriculture, commerce, population, and taxes, also other aspects of government. Although their concept and application of statistics is very limited, they were among the first few people who actually did do statistics. It was during the 20th century that statisticians were active in developing new methods, theories, and application of statistics. Among them was William S. Joseph, who developed the methods of making decisions based on a small set of data.
How statistics is important to us in the modern times. In some studies, such as scientific, industrial, or societal problem, statistics must be applied. One begins with a process or population to be studied. It may instead be a process observed at various times. Data collected about this kind of population constitute what is called a time series. Scientific theory in the both natural sciences and the social sciences is subjected to statistical tests that determine whether empirical observation is or is not consistent with a theory. Since advances in the scientific theory have led the way to technological advancement in the medicine, transportation, communication, etc., statistics definitely play a central role in the modern society. After all, gathering simple data from surveys and constructing graph with the data is considered statistics, and with that it remains helpful and is very needed in the modern.
Statistic is important. Statistic all around you, sometimes used well, sometimes not, and we must learn how to distinguish two cases. From medical studies and research experiments to social networks such as Facebook or MySpace, data are being collected everywhere all the time. If you cannot distinguish good from faulty reasoning, then you exposed to manipulation to decisions that are not in your best interest. Statistics provides tools that you need in order to react intelligently to information you hear or read. In this sense, statistics is one of the best important things that you can study. No longer will you blindly accept numbers of findings. Instead, you will begin to think about the numbers, their sources, and most importantly, the procedures used to generate them. You must also learn to recognize statistical evidence that support a stated conclusion.
Some scholars pinpoint the origin of statistics to 1663. Early applications of statistical thinking revolved around the needs of states to base policy on demographic and economic data.
Some computations of odds for games of chance were already made in antiquity. Beginning around the 1200s, increasingly elaborate results based on the combinatorial enumeration of possibilities were obtained by mystics and mathematicians, with systematically correct methods being developed in the mid-1600s and early 1700s. The idea of making inferences from sample data arose in the mid-1600s in connection with estimating populations and developing precursors of life insurance. The method of averaging to correct for what were assumed to be random errors of observation began to be used primarily in astronomy. In the mid-1700s, while least squares, fitting, and the notion of probability distributions became established around 1800s. Probabilistic models based on random variations between individuals began to be used in biology in the mid-1800s, and many of the classical methods now used for statistical analysis were developed in the late 1800s and early 1900s.